Today, coming up on Disney and Travel Chat, I will be compiling my 5 favorite attractions at Walt Disney World and some other topics I would like just to make note of with some important dates. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today on episode number 4 for the week of July 8th. I'm your host, Tom Waterhouse. Today, I am going to compile my top 5 favorite attractions that I always have to ride when I go to Walt Disney World. Number 5, it's a small world. It's just iconic. It is a classic. I have to ride it every trip that I go on to Walt Disney World. I have to ride It's a Small World. I just enjoy it. It's a relaxing ride, gives some time to unwind and just enjoy, one of those iconic attractions that makes Walt Disney World and Disneyland what it is. My number 4, I would have to say, and this one's really tough because there's so many rides that I really like. And I really had to think about it for a minute. But I would have to say, for me, would be Pirates of the Caribbean. It's one of those rides I always got to ride. I'll ride it multiple times on a week's trip there. It's just, for me, growing up in Pennsylvania on Lake Erie, every big tall ship that I would see, because I had the blessing of growing up with the Brick Niagara, and it's still here, and it's been renovated quite a few years ago, and it's to the point where it sails the Great Lakes at different festivals. But when I saw it, I didn't see it as Oliver Hazard Perry's ship from the War of 1812. Growing up as a kid, I saw it as a pirate ship. And, with being on the lake, and then also growing up as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, being only an hour and a half away from Pittsburgh, I saw it as a pirate ship. I've always had that fantasy liking and mythical adventures on the high seas of the pirates and the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Pirates of the Atlantic Ocean. It's just the way to this day, I still really enjoy swashbuckling stories and movies. Number 3, it's a ride I gotta ride every time I'm there. Another tough one, but like I said, in there, I would have to go with Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith. But I'm going to even have to give a tie into there with, because I got to ride all the time, as a tie, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Same thing. Both of those rides, I always have to ride. I have to. It's just so much fun. It's just, if I had to pick one over the other, I would edge it out to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad because of the theme, the uniqueness to it, the length of it, which is it's a fun long ride, as far as for that type of thrill ride, and just the slow and then speed and the twist and the turns and it's so exciting. Number 2, happy 25th, Hollywood Tower of Terror. That never gets old for me. I look forward to it every trip. I just wish I could bring one home and put it in my backyard. Really enjoy it. I love the whole premise behind it, the whole Twilight Zone story behind it, of the silver screen era and a luxurious hotel that on Halloween night that was struck by lightning and caused the um, casualty and fatality of the event slash loss of the guest that was trapped in the elevator. Um, Love it. The whole ride's just a thing. But with that being said, at the end of the ride, before you make your turn to go to the doors that lets you off, I get EBGBs every time I ride it, and just thinking about it, of the puppet, that mannequin doll with the cigar out of his mouth, just looking at you there. And just think if they would have made it where the head could actually turn. So as you're moving back and getting ready to turn to go to the doors to exit, if his eyes and his head just followed you, ooh, that would really freak me out. But it still freaks me out. But that whole scenery, the going down into the boiler under this old and abandoned, at once roaring beautiful hotel, going down into the boiler room and just slowly working your way to the service elevator. I love it. It's just fun, exciting. So enjoyable. And my number one favorite attraction every time I go there, that I have to ride multiple times, ride it at night is my favorite time, is the Grim Grinning Ghost Haunted Mansion. I just love everything about it. The story, the windowless, doors looking room, and the music, and the cool breeze, and the raven with the red eyes, and just the spirits lurking the halls. I love it. I just love that dark ride. Uh, it's so enjoyable, especially if you ever go and do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, especially if you do it on Halloween night. It's just something about attending Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on Halloween, doing your trick or treating through the Magic Kingdom, and riding the Haunted Mansion. And I will say, on that night, the hitchhiking ghost do come alive and will, I repeat, will follow you home. Yes, as to that being said, there is places when you go for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, excuse me, that you can get these magic shots, pictures taken, um, in certain locations. Typically on this one, when we last couple times we have gone, it was done behind the Christmas store in Liberty Square. Why they picked that location is beyond me. Um, by the little tiny gazebo where the princess from the Princess Frog would do the meet and greets. They would take a picture and they would have you stand looking like funky, like you're going to hold something in your hand or whatever. And you would have the three hitchhiking ghosts standing behind you in the photo when you acquired it through either your memory maker or online to place the order for it. There was another time they had done it closer to that attraction, right around, if I remember correctly, near the Harbor House. They picked a brick wall area that, if I remember correctly, in that between there and like the President's Hall, somewhere in that vicinity, you went back like almost like a little alley. They had you in there. It's been a couple of times we've done it, but it's just really cool. Get the magic shots. A lot of people do not know about the magic shots. If you are one of those persons or families that normally will not do pictures, that you can have scanned into your Magic Band, I encourage you to do them, because you can ask every photographer, say, do you have a magic shot? And there's different things they can do at different locations at different parks. If you have a daughter and she's one of the princess, she loves the princesses. There is different themes they can do with that, where she's sitting on a bench, and all of a sudden, you may have the frog in your hand, and all of a sudden, boom, Tiana, is there on another picture. I've seen where Tinkerbell is flying around people's heads or lands in the person's hand. Stitch popping out of the ground. Um, where a group of you will be look like you're holding somebody down and reaching, and the other person's like holding something in the air. When you see the picture, when it comes through on your My Disney Experience, you're holding up balloons, and your family members are trying to hold you down so you don't float away. It's called the magic shot, and you can ask every photographer uh, with the photo pass. Just ask them. Say, do you offer the magic shot? And if they don't, they may guide you to say, hey, go see that person over there by, let's hypothetically say, at Spaceship or at Epcot, and ask that gentleman that's taking the pictures if he can do a magic shot. Um, all the parks, there's spots where they can do them, and there's also ones that are only for specific events. Like I was saying, the Hitchhiking Ghost for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is one of the magic shots you can get done. But with that being said, with my top five favorites, that is no particular order for some people. That is not the same list for some people or the same attractions for some people. That was just one of my top five favorite attractions that I always look forward to riding and seeing when I go back to Disney. I have a lot of favorites. Don't get me wrong. I could have made that list even longer, because I really, really like the iconic Enchanted Tiki Room, especially because I know Walt had a big hand in that. I love the Carousel of Progress. Several reasons. One, I just enjoy the relaxation for that 20 to 30 minute episode. If you're tired, you go to the back of the room in there, find that little dark spot, and just close your eyes and relax, for that time that it's going around. And get the free air conditioning if it's a hot day. But one that had to me is very iconic with Walt and how the whole backstory of it, for the World's Fair, it just it's just something to me that I really look forward to. Splash Mountain, I really enjoy it. Do I ride it every time? No, because there's days are cold and I just don't feel like getting wet, so I won't ride it. But I mean, it's still one of the things even if I'm not going to ride it, I look forward to it. Listening to the people scream as they're you know, coming down before they get wet. It's just pure entertainment for me. Um, I enjoy Space Mountain, but because of the bouncing around and whipping, I don't have a. Sometimes I don't want to get whipped around like that, so I won't ride it. I'll wait for my kids as they ride and they come back, but I still like it. It's another iconic ride. The whole building, you see that when you're coming around on Disney's transportation bus, or if you're walking over from the Contemporary or staying over there, that's one of the things that you see is the Space Mountain building. Um, Teacups, another one I enjoy riding once in a while. I don't ride it every time I go, but it's one of those things I enjoy watching other people ride, as I'm going by. So I mean, I could just keep going on and on. Three Caballeros at the Mexico Pavilion at World Showcase at Epcot. Dinosaur, at Animal Kingdom. I just really, really enjoy that. And I could go on, but you get the idea. It's just those, what I gave you at the beginning, are my favorite that I look forward to every trip. So, some dates to keep in mind. If you're planning a trip this year, to go on, for the various attractions and experiences that are opening up. August 29th, of course, is the opening of Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World. That place is going to be crazy that day, probably for the first month or two, for sure. From my understanding, they are going to do the reservation program just like they did out at Disneyland. Also, August, I believe it's 15th. My memory served me right. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party events start, taking off for the season. If you have never done it, I highly, highly recommend doing the event. Yes, there is an extra fee for it, but it's a good time for children and adults, even if you don't have kids. If they encourage all the attendees that are going, dress up, have fun, do the trick or treating at the park, and let me tell you, they give you handfuls of candy. At the same time, it's only for the attendees for that ticketed particular night that you schedule. So it is not for anybody just to stay. So with that being said, when I go, my kids and I always like to go on Halloween night. Now, we haven't done it in a few years just because of school schedules, my son now being in college, my work schedule, it just hasn't worked out. I'm sorry, it returns August 16th, 2019, and runs through November 1st, 2019. I just looked it up here real quick. You buy early, you can tickets start at $79 for select nights after, so you're getting a $10 savings purchase. So, boo kick, as they say, your tickets now. Great event. And like I said, it's great for adults. It's great for couples. It's great for single attendees, and it's great for families, single parents, and, even regular families with mom and dad parents. Like I said, I highly recommend it. Definitely dress up for it. Another event that I encourage doing, if you're not going during that time of the year, is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Again, it's an extra fee, but it's the same thing. It's for the guests that have tickets for that particular night. Runs usually from 7 p.m. to midnight. So there's lower lines for the attractions. There's cookie and hot chocolate trail that you can do, that they'll give you free hot chocolate. And I know that's what it was when we did. The last time we did that one was 2010, because after that we were doing the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And then we've been mixing up a little bit the last few trips. So they haven't had that for either one of us, for either one of ours. But their tickets are on sale now as well. It shows the party dates on here is November 8th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 15th, 17th, 19th, 21st, 22nd, 24th. December 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 17th, 19th, 20th, and the 22nd. And as I said, the tickets are on sale now. They start at $99 for select nights, which that's giving you a $10 advance purchase savings. For either one of those events, you can book at www.disney.com or disneyparks.com, disneyparks.disney.go.com, or call your Disney Reservation Center at 407-939-1872. And all the details are on there. If you go to the disneyparks.disney.go.com and go to the Disney Parks blog there, and it gives you a nice idea what it's all about and what's included and what's not. But in another event that I recommend, one of the things, if you have time to go, one of our favorite times of the year that I can highly recommend doing, if you want to experience both experiences of Halloween and Christmas, is you arrive at the Magic Kingdom either the morning of the 31st or the 30th. Come into Walt Disney World. Have your tickets, if you really want to enjoy it, on for the 31st for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Spend your whole day and night at the Magic Kingdom. Bring your costume with you and change, or go back to the resort, come back and change, or wear it all day. Spend more than 7 days. Spend 9 to 10 days there at least. And you will be there to enjoy the changeover. One night you'll go to sleep, everything will be will be Halloween before you go to sleep. The next day you wake up and you attend the park, everything is Christmas. They will transform it overnight, and it blows your mind, so you can experience from then on the Christmas theme and get the Christmas merchandise. And if you're there long enough, as you've seen on the when the Mickey's Not So Scary Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts, which is the 8th. So if you're there that long, you can actually attend then, buy your tickets for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and then attend the first or second, if you're there long enough, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And we didn't hit both parties, but we have been there for the last trip that we did 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, because time's flying by, for Halloween. When we went on Halloween night, we were there long enough at least to see the Christmas theme for a few days, all the decorations, did some resort hopping to see all the different trees, because at every resort there's a different tree in the lobby. But we went home 2 days before the first Christmas party. But it's on my to-do list between now and, it's one of my bucket list items to do. So with that being said, those are some of the important dates I can notify you on for now. Excuse me. And obviously there's going to be more to come. But if you're going to Galaxy's Edge on the opening day, shoot me a link. Shoot me an email. Let me know if you're going. Hear all about it. And if you have a top 5 favorite list, send that to me. Let's mention it on the next episode. It'd be kind of fun to see what other people have for their favorite attractions, as well as any other topics you would like to talk about. Shoot me a message, a comment. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys listening in and joining me on this episode. This is our episode 4. And I'm going down in December with the kids. We're looking forward. We're going to celebrate Christmas and the New Year here again. We did it in 2017 into 2018, ringing in the New Year. A lot of fun. And highly recommend everybody do it at least once as part of their bucket list. But with that being said, shoot me some comments. Let me know what your top lists are. And again, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week on Disney and Travel Chat. Good evening.